decentraLIVE.
Welcome back to another episode of decentraLIVE, the crypto and blockchain news show with heart and soul, and of course, me, your host, Owen McCall. Rolling solo today as Tracy is off educating the Swiss government or something like that. Very cool. Anyways, let's get right into it. Here's a look at the crypto market moves over the last week. Up on screen for you now, the top 5 cryptocurrencies and their 7-day movement. First up, as always, Bitcoin dropped under $10,000 today, down 1.54% overnight. That'll be interesting to watch to find where its next support stands. Next up, Ethereum up 1.32% overnight. Still under that $200 mark, though, sitting at $186.50. XRP following suit in the green, just about 0.4% up overnight, sitting currently at about 27 cents US dollars. Next up, Bitcoin Cash, just under the $300 mark, down 1.21% overnight. And finally, Litecoin, $73.23 currently, down, well, nearly 4% overnight. Now, yesterday I had the chance to speak with Bloomberg contributor, Forbes columnist, and esteemed financial analyst Naeem Aslam about all things crypto. Here's what he had to say about the current state of the Bitcoin market valuation and his outlook for the end of the year. Check it out.
One question that I always being asked is that, okay, is this rally is going to be about 20,000 mark?
Everyone's asking.
It's not. The next Bitcoin rally is not about 14,000, 15,000, or 20,000. It's not even about 50,000. It is about 100,000 per Bitcoin. So the moment that we see, so far we haven't seen a rally. So far we've just passed the crypto winter, but we are still well below that all-time high.
Absolutely.
Right? The rally will only start when we will start breaking that 20,000 mark and then start moving to the upside. That's when the rally is going to start. And then everyone is just focused on one particular number, which is 100,000.
Yeah. And then difficult question, but I got to ask, what sort of time frame are we looking at to break that 20K, jump to the 100? What are you looking?
I would really hope, when price was trading in around 13,000, I was really hoping for the price to continue to move to the upside. But now we're seeing this consolidation again.
Because it was flirting with 14,000 a little bit, but never really got there, right?
Not being able to push above that. So this consolidation is open. As long as the price stays above the 50-day moving average, I think we can really see 20,000 mark this year.
20K by the end of the year. Once we hit that, looks like we're off to the races, which sets us up nicely for that $1 million valuation prediction by the end of 2020 by the big man, John McAfee. And you'll no doubt remember what happens if it doesn't hit. Well, a bit of a pivot now over to another organization keen to jump aboard the Bitcoin train, none other than internationally recognized terror group Hamas. Now, in a video released just last week, a military wing of the Palestinian Hamas organization, known as the Al-Qassam Brigades, called for supporters old and new to channel their inner Bob Hope and commence a digital fundraising telethon with Bitcoin taking the place of cold hard cash. Now, the group has a very modern-looking explainer video hosted on a donation site complete with instructions on how to donate the digital asset without raising any international eyebrows. Now, whether or not this is truly feasible, that's up for debate. As we know, obfuscation of Bitcoin transfers is possible via a number of technologies, including crypto mixers, etc. However, even here, there are indeed traces which law enforcement agencies and altruistic keyboard warriors alike will be able to piece together. It's a dangerous game to say the least, though, of course, this is par for the course for such an organization. More on this story as it progresses. Now, from Bitcoin donations to crypto salary payments, let's jet over to the home of the hobbits, also known as New Zealand, as the country has recently moved to allow companies to legally pay their employees in cryptocurrencies of their choice, assuming two-party consent, of course. That's right, a new law which stands to go into effect on September 1st, just a week away, will allow employers to legally pay employee salaries and bonuses in cryptocurrencies. It's a global first. Now, there are a few conditions which must be met, and they are outlined explicitly in the August 2019 Tax Information Bulletin. We've got it up on screen for you now. Here are the key elements. In order to be eligible, the chosen cryptocurrency must be able to be converted directly into fiat currency on an exchange, and further, must either function like a currency in a significant manner or have its value pegged to a single or basket of fiat currencies. So this means that crypto offerings like Bitcoin and Litecoin are eligible, as they indeed function like a currency, as are stablecoin offerings like Tether and the crypto franc. Contrastingly, utility tokens and security tokens would not satisfy these requirements and are thus left out in the cold this time around. Now, just a hop, skip, and a jump away, in sunny Australia, another massive use case for Bitcoin is brewing as the country has recently moved to restrict cash payments totaling over 10,000 Australian dollars, or dollary dues in common parlance. That's about 7,000 US dollars. Now, this restriction looks like it will be applied solely in the B2B sector, as private transactions are exempt. However, accordingly, businesses who accept payments breaching the 10,000 Australian dollar threshold will be operating illegally, so long as the draft law which proposes this restriction passes the vote in January of next year. Now, here's the really interesting part. The draft law explicitly carves out an exception for so-called digital currencies. So why have they done this? Well, first up, the Australian lawmakers do not want to stifle innovation in the space. Fantastic. Secondly, and I would urge all other countries to take note of this claim, quote, "There's little current evidence that digital currency is presently being used in Australia to facilitate black market activities." So it could be that on the dawn of January 2nd, we witness an absolute explosion of crypto use in the corporate world in the land down under. Now, speaking of explosions, a bombshell news story out of Ukraine this week, with local agencies reporting that a team of nuclear power plant operators have been arrested. The crime? Well, bringing in outside computer equipment into the facility and proceeding to mine cryptocurrencies, likely including Ethereum, and in doing so compromising the security of the entire nuclear operation. The Ukrainian Secret Service reportedly confiscated an array of equipment, including 16 video cards, motherboards, cooling units, 7 hard drives, 2 solid-state drives, and a USB flash drive and router in late July. Then, following an intense investigation by the prosecution arm of the Ukrainian government, they were given the green light for law enforcement agencies to proceed with a slew of arrests. Now, the nuclear facility in question was in fact registered as a state secret, with explicit guidelines banning the import of outside computing equipment into the premises. Justification for the arrests of the personnel involved in the mining operation reportedly stemmed from this breach, as well as potential leakage of classified info, which was facilitated by the internet connection used to link the mining rigs to the internet from the inside. Now, of course, Ukraine is no stranger to nuclear-powered scandals. Maybe the name Chernobyl rings a bell? Interesting, though, as this Ukrainian team of nuclear scientists is not the first group discovered covertly mining crypto. Some of you might remember back in 2018, a Russian nuclear squad was found to be using the resident supercomputer to do the same. Talk about hash rate. Well, that's going to do it this week. Remember to check decentraLIVE on our veritable buffet of social media channels. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.